so in the last part of this video, this will be like probably one of the last tutorials I have, is just finding out how to put them in the, to compare them with the protein database from NCBI. So as I showed you in the previous video, you come here to your sample 1 DNA, hit view, bases, copy this entire sequence right here. Those are all of your bases that you just fixed and made all correct and made them all equal. You're gonna paste them into here in the BLAST program, and you can align to a more sequence. You can see when that would be necessary. I had to do it a couple times, but it's more just comparison generally to see if you have discrepancies within maybe two different sequences that you did at different times to make sure that they're the exact same sequence and whatnot. So this first one we're going to do is just a BLAST, which just compares all the nucleotides with the known nucleotides in their database. So I come here to show results in a new window, click search, and then it is going to search. In the meantime, ooh, that's not good. So it's because I'm trying to run it in Google Chrome. Let me go ahead and do this in, or it's because I wasn't doing it in Google Chrome. So NCBI. Gonna come here. It's the same difference. Just a little bit of an issue because of the internet program I was using. So NCBI BLAST. Once again, paste. And I'm doing a BLAST N. Show results in a new window. And then hit BLAST. And there we go. Now it's searching all the database with the sequence I just put in. Meanwhile, I want to do a BLAST X, which turns your sequence into a protein sequence and then compares that protein sequence against their protein databases that they have. So this is another really great, I shouldn't say protein, it does the amino acid sequence, which, okay, you get the picture. But it turns your sequence into amino acids and compares that to the amino acids that are known in its database, and that's just by putting in your DNA sequence. Again, gonna open in a new window. Those generally take a couple minutes to search, so don't be worried if it's just sitting here at this screen for quite some time. It usually does that. So meanwhile, we'll go back to our original nucleotide sequence that we compared against theirs. So this kind of gives you just a quick overview of how many bases it matched. So it looks like it matched a huge number of them, and it looks like there was a little bit of a gap, and there's a bunch more that it connected to. So again, this is all of the different alignments that it did. This is obviously the one we're looking for. And kind of a trick I learned. Let's see if it still does it. So if you do what I just did. Yeah, so if you hit Control Find to find on the web page, and then you type in this specific key. I would show you, but it's on the keyboard, obviously. It looks like this key right here. If you type that in, it's going to show you where all the matches are at. So it's a real easy way to find wherever your errors are at. So as you can see here, there's an error. Here there's an error. Here there's an error. And here there's an error. Here there's an error. Here there's an error. Shows you there's 5 gaps of the 739 nucleotides we have, and out of the 739 nucleotides, 732 of them were exact identities, which makes sense whenever you go here and look at the gaps. Well, I guess there are 2 missing, so it looks like maybe 2 of them just didn't match. Either way, you can come in here and see where your discrepancies are. Generally, whenever you go back and double check these on your nucleotide sequence, they usually match up very well, and most likely, like right here, most likely there's an extra G that was in our. So another thing to note, when we searched here, we are always the query, and we're always comparing against the subject. So us being the query here, you can go through and see where your discrepancies are and go back, and where we started at 1 here, we can go back and check maybe nucleotide 15 or so to double check to see if it's our error or it's a mutation in the DNA sequence. I'll show you in the next video how to